Welcome once again to Musings by Danon. A couple of weeks ago, I was working on a video about non-fantasy isekai, which apparently a lot of you really enjoyed. In order to keep track of all the manga I'm currently reading, which at current count is 575, I use a spreadsheet. I track what chapter I'm on, and usually have a brief description of the manga, especially if the title is in Japanese. In order to find examples to talk about, I went through every single manga that I'm caught up on in order to make sure I didn't miss any. Some of you even pointed out ones that I haven't read yet, and I'm grateful for that. But going through the list also reminded me of several wonderful and engaging manga that haven't had an update in a couple of years. That's partially how I'm able to honestly say I'm reading almost 600 different series. Some of them only update once a month, while others haven't had an update in years. Some are on hiatus, while others have just gotten off of hiatus. Regardless, on average I read about 10 chapters a day from various manga that I'm currently reading. One of the series I came across that hasn't been updated in forever is the subject of today's video, The Holy Knight's Dark Road. Before we get started, I'd like to quickly ask you to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel, and it's free. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. So, after double checking to see that there hasn't been an update in about 2 years, I went over to Bookwalker, where, lo and behold, there were 3 volumes and all of them were on sale. So I picked them up. I'm currently on Volume 2, but don't worry, I won't spoil anything from the end of Volume 1. I just wanted to go over what made me fall in love with this series and let others know about it. As a general rule, I tend to talk about events in light novels and manga that I believe would be covered in the first episode of an anime, whether or not an anime is coming for the series. And before I get your hopes up, there has not been an anime announced for The Holy Knight's Dark Road, which is sad because this series is hilarious. Saneforth is the Holy Knight. Not a Holy Knight, the Holy Knight. There are 2 gods in this world, the goddess of light and the god of darkness. Each of them has a chosen champion and bestows upon this person power. So at any given time, there is only one Holy Knight and one Dark Knight. In this world, people are born with an innate ability to use certain types of magic: holy, darkness, fire, water, earth, wind, and lightning. Trying to use magic to which you are not naturally attuned is very difficult. Most people don't bother with it. Saneforth was born into a family of strong holy magic users, and at the age of 5 was chosen by the goddess to be the Holy Knight. He quickly became known as the strongest Holy Knight in history, not just from others around him who he had saved with his power, but the goddess herself stated that he was the strongest of all time. Sane also became incredibly close to the goddess, speaking to her on a daily basis. One day, about 10 years later, as thanks for all the good he had done, the goddess asked Sane what he wanted. Sane wasn't sure. He hasn't wanted for anything his entire life. People have made him and his family rich with all the thank you gifts he'd received. He has a loving family, loyal retainers, and leads a fulfilling life doing the work of the goddess. He saves people and enjoys his day-to-day. So Sane said he's not sure. But what does the goddess want? The goddess is taken aback. No one has ever asked her what she wanted before. She tells him, and her voice cracked when she told him her wish. The next day, Sane says he's quitting as the Holy Knight and will instead pursue the goal of becoming the Dark Knight. The goddess is not happy with him, but Sane is determined. In fact, he's more determined to become the Dark Knight than any other goal he's had in his young life. So he dyes his hair black daily. The holy magic inside him is so strong it changes the black back to blonde when he sleeps. He changes his clothes to all black and puts on a ridiculous amount of rings, chains, necklaces, and various other accoutrements, each of which is a seal on holy power. Sane hides his family name of Forth and takes up the name of Faustus. He travels across the sea to a school where no one knows him in order to learn dark magic and eventually become the Dark Knight. The only person who travels with him is his maid, Melia, who is also Best Girl. Melia is sarcastic, ruthless, and cold. In the opening scene, Sane is reading an article about how he was spotted praying over a flock of sheep. He screams and tears up the paper in frustration. Sane claims he wasn't praying for those sheep, he was trying to sacrifice them to summon demons. After all, he's trying to be the Dark Knight now. Yes, of course you were, Master Sane, Melia replies. But her tone is drawn out, an apathetic drawl that only serves to make Sane even angrier. Melia is deathly loyal to Sane, but teases him relentlessly throughout the series. A few pages later, when Sane starts to reminisce about how he convinced his father to begin this long and dark road, Melia says, "Incoming flashback." Sane only ever refers to Melia as Maid, and when they meet the other girl on the cover of Volume 1, Alicia Remia, Sane refers to her as Miss Gold. In fact, he never calls anyone by their name. Like a true Chinubio, he gives everyone he interacts with a nickname. He also wears so much jewelry that he jangles like a pouch of coins everywhere he walks. But as I mentioned earlier, each piece of jewelry is a seal to keep his holy power from leaking out. He also has a reason for nicknaming everyone around him, both of which are tied to him being the Holy Knight. But if I were to reveal the reasons, that would be a spoiler. Another spoiler would be explaining the purpose of the Holy Knight and the Dark Knight. Why would the God of Darkness and the Goddess of Light bless someone and grant them a portion of their respective power? Why is there only one of each at any given time? And what was the goddess's wish? Well, the answers to all but one of those questions are found in Book 1 of The Holy Knight's Dark Road, available over on Bookwalker or Amazon. I'll post links to both down below. Let me know if you decide to read it. I'd love to have more people to chat with about this absurd but actually good series. No, seriously, the world building is actually very interesting. The characters are comedic in nature, but the story is actually quite serious. I can't tell you what the plot is without spoiling things though, so you'll just have to trust me. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cute Stuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. There are several tiers to choose from. You can pick an anime or manga for me to do a video about, or you can join our monthly manga club. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Danny, Muffins, Marcus, Squishy, Brett, Roxy, Josh, Sean, Pob Zombie, Mark, Alex, Daniel, Steve, Kevin, Alex, Cookie, Nick, Borgie, Jake, Exiled Rogue, Medmen, and Manassas. You guys are awesome. I post anime or manga videos often, or you can click here to watch additional videos. Now, if you're looking for Commander content, I split my channel last year, so all new Commander videos are over on my other channel, Commander by Danon. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Musings by Danon.